Hello, Mr. Berry's Geometry Classes, Part 2, picking up on number 22 of the final review. And we're looking at we're looking at this figure right here where we have two bases and we have the height right here. We're not even going to do anything with that 14.5. So we're just working with the trapezoid formula here, where we take the height times base 1 plus base 2, all divided by 2. When we do that, when we plug this in our calculator, you will get 303.66 inches squared. The minor arcs of O. Minor arcs are anything that's less than half of the circle. So half of the circle is a semicircle, so D all the way to B, or A all the way to C. So anything less than that, so AB, BC, CD, DA, and all those choices are there for C. 24, identify the semicircle that contains C. So we want ACB. Remember, when we go for a major arc or a semicircle, we're going to name 3 points on that circle. Number 25, we want to find the circumference. So the circumference is pi times d. So if the radius is 12, that means the diameter is twice that, so it's going to be 24, so it's going to be 24 pi. And that is A. In terms of pi, so we're not actually taking 24 and multiplying it by pi. We are just leaving it. Number 26, we have, we're looking for the area. So area equals pi r squared. So we're going to take the radius, we're going to square it, and then just put it with pi. So that ended up being D. Describe the cross section. That's going to be the shaded section, and that's going to be a square. With that plane cutting through that cube looking. We have a plane cutting through this pyramid, and that is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-sided object, which is a pentagon B. Add that right B up there. A jewelry store buys small boxes in which to wrap items that they sell. The diagram below shows one of the boxes. Find the lateral area and the surface area of the box to the nearest whole number. Remember, surface area is going to be 2 times length times width plus 2 times length times height plus 2 times width times height. Go ahead and name these. It doesn't matter how you name them. Just name them and stick with it throughout the whole problem. So I could have named this length. It really didn't matter. Length, I could have named this height. I could have named this length or height, but I named it width. So what I'm saying here is label them. Then go through and plug those numbers in for your L and your W, your L and your H, your W and your H, okay, and work the problem out. You'll see that you'll get 186 for the surface area, and then take the same L and H and W and H, and that will be the lateral area, and that was 42, so B. For number 30, the surface area of a cylinder, this is the formula right here. And so you're going to plug in for R, the radius. If the diameter is 8, that means the radius is half of that, so it's going to be 4. The height is 13. You just plug those numbers in, and you get 136. Getting to the ones that did not have the right answers, and luckily Mr. Berry put something out regarding that, because it was driving me crazy trying to get these answers, wondering what was going wrong. It's 95 feet squared, it rounds to. And all I did was took each triangle, is 17.5 is the area. It's the base times the height, half of that. Multiply it by 4 because there's 4 of them. I got 70. The bottom area is 5 times 5, 25. Add them together, you get 95. Don't pay attention to this over here. I was trying to figure out what was wrong. How come I wasn't finding it? There are no right answers down here. So you just put 95 feet squared. The cone formula is right here. I imagine you're going to have the formulas on your test. So you're just going to plug in the height, you're going to plug in the radius, or the radius. The height is going to be this. So I did have to find b squared, which was 680. Square root of that was 26-ish. Plug that in, and I get about this amount, 746.1 centimeters squared. When I work out, the height and the radius, the radius goes in 3 times. So all I needed was 7, 7, 7, 7, 3 times. And I just needed to figure out the height. What this was a squared plus b squared equals c squared, because we have Pythagorean's theorem here, because we have a right triangle in there. And so that's what this is down here. And you had to just basically take 27 squared minus 7 squared, you got 680. Square root of that gave you the 26. And this would be the final answer. Notice it's not down there because Mr. Berry pointed out that those were not correct. Volume of a prism here, a rectangular prism, we're just going to take length times width times height. We multiply those all together, you get 294.8 centimeters. There was a correct answer there. See? The volume of a cylinder is pi r squared times h. So the r is 5, the radius. The height is 14. And you just take 14 times 25, you get 350. Pi, it's in terms of pi, so inches cubed. Oh, 35, there wasn't a correct answer there either, but the volume of a pyramid is length times width times height. So we have 11 times 11 times 15, it gave us the height, and that all divided by 3. And that was 605 centimeters cubed. It says, find the surface area of a sphere with the given dimensions, leave your answer in terms of pi. This looks so ugly, I just rewrote it again. So all I did was take the formula 4 pi r squared and just multiplied 50 squared times 4, left it in terms of pi. That was 10,000 pi meters squared. B. Number 37, WZ and XR are diameters. Find the measure of ZWX. So ZWX, so ZW would be 180 plus 58, you get 238. Number 38, hopefully you're pausing this like you did in the previous video. Find the measure of BAC in circle O. So BAC, if this is 47, that means this arc is 47. And so all the way across is going to be half of that, which is 23.5. So 47 divided by 2. Find X in the circle. So X, if this is 66, that means this is going to be 33. Just divided by 2. Standard equation for a circle is this. So I'm just going to take these and put them in there. Now if the equation is negative h, and I have a negative 9 for my h, remember x, y is hk in that order. So I have negative 9. To become a negative, I'm going to have negative, negative makes a positive. A negative, negative makes a positive. And the radius squared, 6 squared, is going to be 36. So it should be C. Number 41, in a batch of 470 water purifiers, 10 were found to be defective. What is the probability that a water purifier chosen at random will be defective? Write the probability as a percent, round to the nearest tenth of a percent if necessary. So that would be 10 out of the 470. And when you do 10 divided by 470, you get 0.021 blah, 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 blah. You just move the decimal over 2 places to the right, and you get 2.1%. 442, Lynn and Dawn tossed a koi 30 times and got heads 12 times. What is the experimental probability of tossing heads using Lynn and Dawn's results? That would be 12 out of 30. Notice you could divide both the top and the bottom by 6, And when I do that, 12 divided by 6 is 2, 30 divided by 6 is 5. I reduce it down to B. Remember, you can look for a fraction reducing calculator. And Calculator Soup has a really good one if you're having trouble reducing your fractions. That's online. Just Google fraction reducing calculators. 43. A spinner is numbered from 1 through 10, with each number equally likely to occur. What is the probability of obtaining a number less than 3, so that's 1 and 2, and then a greater than 6, so that would be 7, 8, 9, and 10, so that's a 6 out of 10. So 6 out of 10 reduces, if I divide both the top and the bottom by 2, I get 3/5. You can roll a standard number cube. Find the probability number is not 4. That would be 5 out of the 6. See? And Joey's sock drawer is unorganized and contains 6 black dress socks, 3 black ankle socks, 3 brown dress socks, and 7 brown ankle socks. What is the probability that Joey chooses a sock at random that is brown or is a dress sock? Well, he's got 19 socks altogether. The 6 plus 3 plus 3 plus 7 is 19. So we have 10 out of 19 that are going to be the brown, 9 out of 19 that are going to be dress, minus the ones that are both brown and dress. So that would be 16 out of 19. A should be your answer for that one. Okay, I really hope this was helpful, and good luck with your studying, and good luck with your final exam.